Skin cancer, also a big concern for those of us in the sunny Southwest. Here to show us what to look for at a skin cancer self-exam is Dr. Sherry Ingraham, a board-certified dermatologist of Advanced Dermatology and Skin Care. Good morning to you, and thanks for being here, ladies. We certainly appreciate it. You are going to walk us through, let's say that we were at home and we just wanted to look in the mirror and try to really examine our bodies. Obviously, this exam would be different than what you would do in an office when they'd probably be lying down, I would think.
Right. So what you would do at home is you'd want to place yourself in front of a full-length mirror. And so what we would have Emily do is, I'm going to be her mirror today. So you would start by looking at yourself. Look from the head down, so you do it systematically. So you would look at your face, look along your hairline, make sure you look in your eyes, open your mouth, and make sure you look in your mouth as well in the mirror. And then also look down your neck. Now, obviously, she wouldn't have any clothes on when she's doing this exam on herself. Look at the front side, and what she's going to be looking for is change, and mainly the 5 A, B, C, D, and E. And so what she's going to be looking for are lesions with asymmetry, an irregular border, any color change, change in diameter, and the American Academy of Dermatology typically says lesions that are 6 millimeters or greater can be more suspicious for melanoma, but certainly they can be smaller.
A lot of people at home might say, okay, what is 6 millimeters? Can you explain exactly what that size would be?
Good question. It's about the size of a pencil eraser. So look for things that are that big and larger. Again, if you see something smaller that's suspicious, it is something worth getting checked, but that is just a good benchmark. You'd keep looking down your abdomen in the mirror, down the front of your legs. Again, she wouldn't have shorts on. And then you want to turn yourself around and look back over your shoulder in the mirror. So I'm going to have Emily look back. You're going to look at the neck, the back, the buttocks, and the back of your legs in the mirror. And then you want to turn around again. Put your arms up, Emily, and you want to make sure you kind of turn to the side. Look at your axilla, the underarm in the mirror. Look at your other side. And again, you're looking for those changes. And one of the most important ones is the E, which is evolution. So if you had something that was flat and became raised, if you had something that was raised and became flat, something that grew or changed, was bleeding, hurting, or itching you, those are all under E for evolution.
A lot of the times when you're taking a look back in the mirror, as you were suggesting, it's hard to see anything, or you might want a closer look. Is it that time to have a friend, your spouse, your mom, somebody to take a look at that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that comes into play truly when you're looking at the next area we're going to talk about. After you looked at your arms and your legs, when you're looking at an area like your scalp, it really helps to have someone help you. And you want to part the scalp sequentially and look through each area. Also, you can get a blow dryer and blow your hair, and it'll move the hair so you can see areas of the scalp. And then that's when a hand mirror can really be helpful. So I'm going to give you this hand mirror, Emily. And when you're doing your exam, you want a big hand mirror so you can look at your scalp in the mirror. And of course, I'm the mirror. She's looking at herself again. That also helps when you're looking at the back of your neck, and then again at the buttocks area and the back of your legs. And a really important area that you don't want to forget is the feet. Melanomas do occur on the feet, though it's not a sun-exposed area, and so you want to sit down, pick up the bottom of your foot, spread your toes out, and make sure you look at your feet, also the hands and the genital area, which is why we commonly tell people, if you've been to a gynecologist or your doctor lately, be sure and mention if you've seen anything changing or if they notice anything. Be aware of that. Also, if you go to a hairdresser, you can have them look through your scalp and they will tell you if they notice something.
I think it's so interesting that you're talking about the areas that probably never see sun. I mean, you mentioned the buttocks and genitals, and you also mentioned the scalp, which you think your hair is protecting it. You mentioned underarms, which we always have down. So why are those subject to
That's a very good point. Most skin cancers, the most common types are basal and squamous cell, and those are greater than 90% of the time due to solar radiation, sun exposure. Melanomas do have a genetic component. So though most melanomas occur on sun-exposed sites, many do not, and those are the most lethal type of skin cancer.
And that's because we're showing a picture of it right now, because it can metastasize, it can spread to other parts of the body, and while you may be able to have that particular tumor or that melanoma scraped out, it may be too late, because then it can spread to other body parts and vital organs. Right,
and that's the most interesting thing about melanoma, is that if caught early, the majority of them are curable, and that is why self-skin exam is so crucial, and we recommend that you do a self-skin exam on yourself once a month to look for a melanoma or another type of lesion, and then annually go to your dermatologist, have them do a full skin exam on you or your primary care doctor, and of course, if during those self-exams you notice something, you want to go sooner.
And it's just always important to catch it early, just like everything, so it's so important to remember that. Now, what about skincare products? Because we want to prevent it. While you mentioned the genetics, and there's not a whole lot we can do about that, at least going out in the sun we can. A certain SPF you suggest, and how much to put on?
Absolutely. So SPF of 30 is the current recommendation. You want to apply it every 2 hours or after sweating or excessive water exposure. And typically we recommend, because most people, when they've done studies, only apply enough to get about an SPF of 5. What you want to make sure you do is use about 2 tablespoons for an average adult from head to toe. So you really need to kind of lather it on. And the main thing to pay attention to is that SPF. You want to look for broad spectrum. SPF only refers to the UVB protection, and you really need that UVA protection as well, and that's signified by broad spectrum on the label.
So many people say, you know what, I've just got blessed with really lucky skin, and I never sunburn, so I don't wear sunscreen. Do those people need to be concerned as well? I mean, just because you don't get red, probably doesn't mean you don't need that coverage.
Absolutely. People with light eyes, lighter hair are more prone to sun damage and sunburn, but certainly individuals with darker skin tones do get skin cancer. I have taken them off people with very, very dark skin types. Everyone is vulnerable to sun exposure. Everyone needs to use sunscreen, and we know now that most of the sun damage that's associated with skin cancer is incurred before the age of 18, and so really get in the habit of applying it to your children, and of course them seeing you apply it helps with them learning the proper process.
Oh, it most definitely does. And don't be like me when I was a child. I would wipe it off when my mom put it on me because I wanted to tan. So we want to try to prevent that, because I have now had skin cancer, and we don't want anybody else to have to deal with that.
Right.
It's so good to talk to you, Dr. Ingraham. Thank you for coming in. Emily, thanks for being our model and teaching us how to do our self-exams. Important stuff. It seems pretty easy, Natalie.